All right. I've been trying to make this video for a minute, and I think it's something that's very real, and it is our relationship with food. It's something I've truly struggled with. And back in college a few years ago, there was a stint where I tried so hard to be healthy and so regimented and count calories and have this perfect workout system and be super strict and disciplined, and that backfired. Story time. I was in the middle of measuring my body every day, counting calories every day, doing this workout program every day, feeling hungry and confused and like, am I making progress? And I was doing all this silently, almost as punishment. Only I knew about it. It's pretty messed up now that I think about it. But what's funny is I didn't know any better. At the time, that's just what I thought, what it was going to take to get a healthy, happy, good-looking body. Little did I know, I was digging myself a hole because what I was doing was not sustainable. I was not loving myself through the process. I was feeling worse. In the attempt to get healthy, I was getting worse. I was not getting healthy. Very backwards. And it's funny how in hindsight it's more obvious. And it got pretty bad, and I don't want to shy away. If anyone's going through it, I have been a few places, and so here's where I've been. So at the really worst of it, every single night after fasting throughout the day and like starving myself and working out, I would find myself getting into this really bad habit of eating tons of food late at night. And what that looked like was I would wake up in the morning, I would fast, because that was what I was getting into, fasting. So I'd almost like punish myself and deprive myself because I wanted to be really disciplined. And then I would work out and I would have like a little bit of food. And then at night I would be like, wow, I don't feel great. I'm really hungry. And so when I started to break and things started to spiral in a bad way, I would go out and buy all this fast food, whether it be pizza and ice cream and cookies and chips and candy every single night. So essentially I was not eating during the day, and then at night when no one was watching, I would be just hoarding all this food and eating all this unhealthy food, and I would fall asleep on my back just like a giant pumpkin. At least that's how I felt. I mean, and that became a habit, and I didn't know how to stop it. And 11 o'clock would roll around and it would happen again, and I felt like I was being yanked around on a leash because I wasn't eating enough food during the day. So at night I got into this habit of, well, if I'm going to survive, I have to go eat all this junk food. And it was not a good thing because I wasn't talking about it out loud. I wasn't loving myself. I wasn't being open to the fact that, yo, it's not worth it to try and get this fit, healthy body that looks good if you feel terrible. And I didn't really get that until I had a big wake-up call. And the wake-up call was I started waking up at night after eating all this unhealthy food and junk food late at night over and over and over and over and over and over again, that I would wake up with something called sleep paralysis. And this is something that I have not talked to many people about, and I haven't experienced it in a while because I've changed a lot since then with my eating style, and I've found tools and things that are a little bit different, so because I don't want to put myself in this position again. And if you're in this position, I 1,000,000% sympathize with you because it's not a fun situation, and that's why I want to make this video, because I feel like it's not talked about very much. So what happened was I would wake up in the middle of the night, probably around 3 a.m., the witch hour or something like that, and my body was asleep, my brain was on, my eyes were open, and I could look around the room, but I couldn't move my body. And that's where the sleep paralysis part comes in. And I would just be stuck there, and I felt this really dark energy, and it was the most frightening thing. And I thought it was really symbolic as it kept happening each night. And I was like, well, am I dying? What's going on? This can't be good. And that's when the alarm clock really started to, not actually the alarm clock, but that's when the red flags really started to shoot up. I'm like, okay, something's not right here. My lifestyle must be putting me in this situation. What am I doing that's causing this? It made me start asking these questions like, this can't be normal. So when I started Googling, can't move, I'm in bed during the night, really terrifying, sleep paralysis came up. And of course, my lifestyle put me in that place. And so what's crazy is it made me have to take the initiative. My lifestyle choices of eating poorly and getting into this negative, not self-loving relationship with food and fitness put me in a place where I was paralyzed, where I had no choice but to surrender. And I had no choice but to change. And the most profound thing that I learned from that whole experience was that food and fitness is not a 3-week thing, a 6-week thing, an 8-week thing, a 5-day fast every single 5 days. It is a sustainable, long-term thing that you want to implement for the rest of your life. And that is what I try to do nowadays, where I want to eat foods and work out in a way that I can be doing it until I'm 80 or 90. So that's the thing. A lot of my friends and peers seem to have brought up their relationship with food recently, and it's something that goes on in my family too. And the one thing that I know I've learned along my journey and through that experience was what I was doing with eating all this unhealthy food was not sustainable. And once I realized that there was never going to be enough pizza, never going to be enough chocolate, never going to be enough candy and chips and cookies late at night if I eat all this food every single night, there was no end to it. It's a bottomless pit. And until I started loving myself more and being open to the fact that I want to play the long game and eat healthy overall and not be super strict. I don't need to be 100% perfect. It also taught me perfectionism. I know I'm kind of ranting at this point, but I feel like it's important. This experience also helped me really get a grip on perfectionism, because when I was doing the rigid calories, rigid measurements, I was like measuring my body to see if I was growing or getting smaller or bigger. And I would time everything. So I'd eat at this time, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever the timing was. And if I didn't hit it right on the nail on the head perfectly, I would be super upset with myself and very unforgiving, which is not unconditional love, which our body needs and our soul needs that. That's about all I had. Let's see, what am I forgetting? I don't know. That's probably plenty. We're almost at 10 minutes. So if this is anything that you're going through, just know that you're going through it. You are freaking almost out the other side. Hang in there. Feel free to talk to me about it. I don't want anyone else out there, if I have anything to do with it, to put themselves in a position, if it could be avoided. You know, those experiences shape you. It shaped me. And I'm getting chilly now, and that's about all I had. So talk soon. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you.